Good morning. I'm Mary Ellen Saganovich. You're watching Mary Ellen's Miracle Moment. You can always connect with me through AskMaryEllen.com. As you can see, it's a beautiful Thursday morning here outside Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I hope it will rain a little bit later in the day because it is hot and my plants need some water. I know if you're in a place where it's really hot, you're hoping it rains as well. Anyway, on Thursday, I do Mary Ellen's Miracle Moment, and I use an inspirational story to get a point across to you so you can understand it, or maybe even share it with your children or whomever else that you inspire throughout your day. And of course, all my inspirational stories begin with Once Upon a Time. So let's go. Once upon a time, there were 4 college students. They were about to graduate. They had one last exam to take, and they thought, well, we know that exam. Let's go out and party and drink and dance and just have some fun tonight. Of course, the next morning they had been so drunk and so tired, they slept in and overslept and missed the exam. Oh well. They needed that exam to graduate. So they got together and they formulated an excuse to give to the professor about why they'd missed their exam. So each student got out and rolled around in the dirt, got all dirty, put his hair in a mess, put one of his tails out, just got all messed up and tried to get hot and sweaty. And then they went to the professor's office. But the professor looked at them and said, wow, you guys missed my exam this morning. And they said, oh, Professor, yes, we went out to dinner last night and we were coming back and we had a flat tire and we couldn't get any help. So we had to push and push and all 4 of us had to push the car back to campus. Well, the professor listened, and to the students' delight, he said, well, come back day after tomorrow and I'll give you the exam. Overjoyed, the students ran back to the dorm, and for the next 2 days, they studied and studied and studied. On the day of the exam, the students went to the professor's office. Of course, they were right on time. The professor put each of the 4 students in a different room. The professor took one student and put them in an office, closed the door. Put another student in another office, closed the door. A 3rd student in another office and closed the door, and a 4th student in another room and closed the door. And of course, he took their cell phones or any other communication devices they had. Well, the students had the exam, so they turned it over. There were only 2 questions on the entire exam. The first question was worth 1 point, and it said, what is your name? So they wrote their name. The second question said, which tire was flat? Please circle one. Front right, front left, back right, or back left? You see, the moral of the story is that the professor knew these students were not taking responsibility the way they should. And they'd also made a bad decision, a bad choice. Instead of studying for the exam and getting entirely through with their projects before celebrating, they chose to celebrate before their final exam, their last exam they needed in order to graduate. So you need to always take responsibility for yourself. When you are not completely through with a project, make sure you follow it through to the end before you begin partying or celebrating or doing any other task that will take your mind off of what you need to complete. And this also means not blaming other people for your mistakes. Can't you just hear those students going to the professor and going, oh, well, he made me go with him and, he wanted to stay later and he wanted to dance. Can't you just hear all the excuses they were probably coming up with? We blame and blame and blame others when we always need to turn that finger around at ourselves and see what we need to learn. I'm Mary Ellen Saganovich. You can always connect with me through AskMaryEllen.com or through LinkedIn or YouTube. Please go to AskMaryEllen.com to connect with any of my social media links. We read all my inspirational blogs, my Miracles with Mary Ellen video from Monday, and to connect with any of my 3 books that are now available on Amazon. So I'll see you on Monday for Miracles with Mary Ellen. Until then, have a great, fun-filled week. Enjoy life, and always remember, it is much easier to remember the truth than to figure out what lie did I tell. So tell the truth, have fun, enjoy life. Bye-bye.